Hey everyone, this is Manjunath Naikar. Welcome to my channel Nanadiruchari. So today we're gonna talk about US property taxes in the context of US mortgage. So today we're gonna discuss about what US property taxes are and the difference between calendar year and fiscal year. So we'll just break down the basics today.
Introduction Understanding US Property Taxes. It's a guide for homeowners and mortgage professionals. So, what is US property tax? So, the definition is US property tax is a tax levied on real estate properties by local governments. The tax amount is typically based on the assessed value of the property and tax rate set by the local authorities. So the assessed value, the assessor will come to your property and he will assess the property based on the square feet, and then he will be fixing the assessed value, and that assessed value gonna be our tax amount, the main thing. I mean to say that the tax amount is fixed based on the assessed value of the property and tax rate as well. So the next topic gonna be fiscal year versus calendar year. The difference between fiscal year and calendar year in the US mortgage. So what is fiscal year and what is calendar year and what we call in India? A fiscal year is any 12-month period that doesn't start in Jan. Some lenders, companies, or even government agencies use fiscal years like from October this year to September next year for reporting and budgeting. A calendar year runs from Jan 1st to December 31st. Just like your personal taxes, most individual mortgage interest statements like your 1098 form follows this line. This timeline. So, in simple way to explain the difference between fiscal and calendar year. So the difference is a calendar year runs from Jan to December. A fiscal year, on the other hand, is a 12-month period used for budgeting and financial reporting. For the US government, the fiscal year typically starts from October current year and ends in September 30th next year. So the main difference is calendar year is fixed while fiscal year can vary. Property taxes might be calculated based on the fiscal year, which can affect when taxes are due and how they are paid. And in India, we call financial year which starts from April 1st to March 31st of next year. So for example, so if I'm explaining with an example for fiscal and calendar year, so if I'm a property owner, so if I'm choosing fiscal year, my tax bill is based on fiscal year, and if I'm choosing semi-annual payment method, so the semi-annual gonna be two installment in a year. So the two installments, the two due dates will fall in different year. For example, so if I'm choosing two installment and my fiscal year tax bill, I'll be receiving one bill in this year, for example 2025. So the next bill gonna be 2026. So the two due dates will falls in two different year. If I'm choosing a semi-annual payment method and my tax bill is calendar year, then the calendar year means it start from Jan and ends in the same year, December. So I'll be receiving two bills in the same year. One is on June month and one is on December month same year. So the due dates falls in the same year and I'll be paying my taxes on the same year. And if I'm uh, choosing quarterly, which means four installment. So the four installment, two due dates will be falls in this year, and two due dates falls in next year. And if it is calendar year, the and four installments falls in the same year, that is in between Jan to December. And in India we call financial year that start from April 1st and ends in next year March 31st. So this slide gonna clear your doubts. So the calendar year, fiscal year, the difference. The calendar year is fixed, always starts from Jan to December, and fiscal year is flexible, defined by organizations or government. But both covers 12 months, but starts and end dates differ. So mortgage interest always follows the calendar year Jan to December because that's how the IRS works. Property taxes are different. Local governments set their own tax year, so it might not match the calendar year. So that's how a basic overview of US mortgage, property taxes, and the difference between calendar and fiscal year. Hope this helps. Stay tuned for more videos on this topic. Thank you for watching.